any specific reason. I just feel like my room is cozier. But it's just a little easier for me to film out here while Luna is still a baby. She's sleeping off to the side right now. My entertainment center has shelves on the sides, and she found her new favorite hiding spot and resting spot. So that's where she is right now. She's tucked away. She loves it in there. So it's just easier for me to be here for her, so she can see that I'm here and all that good stuff. But today, as you can tell, we're doing a whisper ramble of sorts, and I know I've done quite a few of them, like back to back, but they all have different themes. And this one is about something that I actually get asked a lot about, which is my teeth, how I straighten them. I get comments and messages all the time, like, did you do Invisalign? Like, what did you use? And so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that today. Some of you know what I use, but some of you, you don't, and that's totally fine. So I figured I would do a whole story time about how I straightened my teeth. If you go back to my videos, if you go back like 5 months, like September-ish time, that was before my teeth straightening journey started. So if you want to see what the before looked like, I'm just gonna mute my phone. If you want to see what the before looked like, go check out those videos. But so we're gonna talk about that today. Before we start though, I want to remind you, if you like my content and you want more than just 2 videos a week, I do have a Patreon, which is $3 a month. I only have that one tier, and for $3 a month you get 3 extra exclusive videos that I never post here on YouTube. You get one life update whisper ramble at the end of every month, and those tend to be more personal than the ones here on YouTube. You get one day in the life ASMR vlog and one miscellaneous video. It could be a mukbang, it could be a show and tell, it could be whatever I'm feeling that month. So the link to that would be down below. I would love to have you join us. We're a cute little family over there. What else? I have my link to my second channel down below, where you can find my podcast episodes as well as vlogs and just lifestyle videos. There's more kitty content over there. And my ASMR videos are also on Spotify, as well as my podcast. So all of that will be down below for you, should you want to check it out. Okay, let's talk about teeth, shall we? Before I get into it, I just want to say, like, 2 things. One, and yes, these are disclaimers, I'm sorry, I just have to say them. The first one, I am not in any way, shape, or form telling you guys to do what I did. It worked for me, but what worked for me has not and will not work for everyone. So this is not me giving you advice, this is me just talking to you about my experience. And the second thing, for the people that already know, like, what company I used and whatever, people love to tell me that I was wrong and that whatever, and it's done. I'm done. My treatment is done, and it worked out for me. So let's not flood the comments with, you shouldn't have done that, okay? It's over already. I loved my experience, and I'm very happy with the results. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. So, at the end of the summer / early fall, I came up with the idea that I wanted to straighten my teeth. It was something that I have been thinking about doing for years, but I always put it off, and I was like, honestly, I always told myself, like, oh, if I get married one day, like, I'll do it, like, for the wedding. And then I kind of had a moment of, like, I don't really need to wait for anything. Like, if I want to straighten my teeth, let's just do it. So the company I used is 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲. 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲 no longer exists, and we'll get into that. But one of my best friends and my coworker, she had used 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲 maybe like 2-3 years ago, and she had a fantastic experience, and she recommended it to me, and I hadn't really ever heard of it, and I was like, okay, let me look into it. And the research option. You could go in to an office and have it done for you, or you could just do it at home, because they wanted impressions of your teeth so that they could design your treatment, design all your trays for however long they decide your treatment is. My treatment was like 4.5 months. For somebody else, it could be a lot longer. Maybe it could be shorter. I don't know. And the reason I knew I was going to be okay with it, and they made this clear when I started, was that my teeth weren't that bad. They looked pretty bad, but really what it was is this front tooth was crooked, and so all the other teeth were pretty straight. They just needed to move so that that tooth could move back. So basically what I'm saying is that my teeth weren't severely crooked. If they were, you would have needed like real braces, like professional attention. But I chose to do mine at home. So I was communicating online with a dentist or whoever, but they never physically saw me in person, and that's why a lot of people have problems with companies like 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲, which is totally understandable. But because I knew somebody that had done it, and I was just like, man, 4 months is nothing, like let's just do it. In hindsight, I mean, it worked out for me, so I'm not gonna say in hindsight I wish I went to a dentist, but it worked, you know. Anyway, so they sent me my moldings, and they basically send you putty, and you roll it up and you put it in a tray that they give you, and you take impressions of your bottom and top teeth and you send it to them, and they design your treatment plan from there. So again, like I said, mine was 4.5 months. My treatment is done, although I am still wearing my tray. We'll get into that. They sent me a refund for those $15, because it's basically free, but you have to pay for it, and then they refund you and whatever. So I got the $15 back, and the cost varied. I'm not really going to talk about the cost because it's irrelevant, because they don't even exist anymore. But it was much less than it would be if you did Invisalign or went and got actual like metal braces from an orthodontist or whatever. So whatever. So very quickly they sent me an email. They said, we got your impressions, we're gonna work on your treatment plan right away. They did. They sent me a 3D model back of my top teeth, my bottom teeth, and my whole smile. I'll insert pictures here of like my before. It's kind of embarrassing, not that they were crooked, but just the way that my mouth is like stretched like that. But they're fairly crooked. And so they sent me a 3D model that you could like fast forward essentially of how my teeth would shift slowly over time to get to where I am now. And which I thought was really cool. So I was like, okay, bet, let's do it. So like a week or two later, they sent me a huge kit, and it was a big box, and it had every single tray. I think I had something like 13 trays. Most of them you would only wear for a week. Every like 3 or 4 weeks you would have a tray that you wore for 2 weeks, and the ones that were 2 weeks were like pretty big shifts. Not big, but like more so than the 1 week. So you wear them for 2 weeks to kind of make sure that you solidify them in that position, so that they don't move. So I got my whole treatment plan. They send you things like, they send you wax, because sometimes the plastic, it's the same with metal braces. I remember when I had metal braces, sometimes it cuts the inside of your mouth, so they give you wax to put on the trays so that you don't cut yourself up. They sent me chapstick. They sent me a free like teeth whitening thing, which I still have it, I never used it. They send you a mirror, they send you a case for the trays to go in, and they send you all your trays. And so every Monday was like my checkpoint, and I did have the app at that time that tracked your progress and did all the things, and it would check in and be like, okay, hey Samantha, today today's the day for you to change your tray. It was very good. It was very easy to follow, very, I had no problems. I would recommend, if you're doing something like this, and you're changing the trays yourself at home, I would recommend putting them on at night. I had to wear mine 22 hours a day, so really I was just taking them out to eat, and then I would brush and floss after every meal, which was annoying. I was brushing and flossing like 4 times a day. Very annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I had to wear mine 22 hours a day. And there was an option where you could wear it like only at night, but that would have like doubled or even tripled my whole treatment thing. So I was like, let me just suffer for 4 months and be done. But yes, I would recommend changing your trays before you go to bed, because the first and second day your teeth are definitely, it's tender and it's sore here. If you've ever had braces, like I remember it was the same when I had metal braces as a kid, you get very, very sore. It was never to the point where I was in like pain or it gave me headaches, but it definitely was uncomfortable. Like Tuesday was the worst day, obviously, because that was the first full day with a new tray, and then Wednesday was decent. By Wednesday night I was more comfortable. But yeah, I recommend putting them on before bed so that most of the discomfort, you don't really feel it because you're sleeping. So that's what I did for however many weeks that is. I want to say it was like 13, 14 weeks. No, more. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. However many weeks, 4.5 months is. And little by little they started shifting. I think I didn't really see, like, it was like one day I woke up and I just saw and I was like, whoa, they're straight. I didn't really notice it, just because, when you look at your face all the time, you don't notice little changes, but people around me started to notice, like, wow, they're so much straighter, like your teeth look different. But there was one day for me, and it was towards the end, I maybe had like 3 weeks left or so, where I really looked at myself and I was like, whoa, they actually look pretty good. So it worked for me. I have my trays in right now, which technically I shouldn't have them in, so let's talk about that. So the way it works typically, well, let's the elephant in the room. If you're not aware, 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲 went bankrupt. I think I was like 80% of the way done with my treatment, and they basically sent an email being like, hey, we're no longer in business, we no longer exist, like, good luck, essentially. Because a lot of people, gave them hate, and also dentists hate it because they want you to go to their office to spend more money. It's just, it's one of those things. So anyway, they were put out of business. They no longer exist. I think Bite still exists. Obviously Invisalign is a thing, because Invisalign is more like you go into a dentist kind of thing. But yeah, so I got that email and I was like, cool. But I had all my trays, so I was able to finish my treatment. I didn't really have a problem per se. I just finished the treatment because I had all the trays, I had all the supplies, I had all the things, so it was fine. The only thing that was an issue was that when you get to the end of your treatment, or towards the end, like 2 weeks before you're done, they send you an alert and they're like, okay, it's time for you to order your retainers. So the way that works is, when you're done with your treatment and all your trays, so this tray, for example, was a 2-week tray, and after that I should have had my retainers already from 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲, and then you're supposed to wear those for 22 hours a day, and then after that you only wear them at night. So technically I should be there already, but because they were no longer in business at that point, I could not order my retainers because they don't exist. So I had to go through alternate methods, because people get retainers all the time. So I had to go through a similar process and get impressions done and do all the things to get retainers from elsewhere. They were because if I don't, they're gonna move. They're gonna shift back. So that's the only annoying thing, and these are really only meant to be worn for a week or two because the plastic starts to turn, it starts to change color a little bit. So I don't wear them all the time. Like if I'm out in public, like I went to a work function the other day, I didn't wear them, but then as soon as I was done, I put them back in, that kind of thing. Because I'm not out here trying to look like I have yellow teeth. Right now they look okay. I clean them very well. I'm very like diligent about that. But I sent not a strongly worded email, but I sent an email to the retainer people, and I was like, hey, I really need these, and they were promised like a week or two ago, and I still don't have them. And of course they sent a whole email back like, oh yeah, we got like super delayed, I'm so sorry, like we're gonna ship them to you by the end of the week. And then of course I got an email today saying that they were on the way, so I should have those within a couple days. The retainer is different because the retainer I think is a little more firm than these, and so the retainer will be better, I think, at keeping them in place, because even this tray I've been wearing for almost a month, if I take it off for 2 hours or whatever, I feel them start to shift, and then when I put this back on, I feel that it's tight, because this is not meant to really keep them in place. That's not what it's designed for, like a retainer is. So when the retainer comes, I think I'm gonna have to wear, I don't know, because again now, like I don't really have guidance from them, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wear the retainer all day every day for 2 weeks, like I was supposed to do with the Smile Direct retainers, and then after that only wear them at night. So that's my plan, because I didn't go through all that for them to move back. So I've been kind of wearing them, but I just don't wear them like 22 hours a day. I maybe wear them like 19 hours a day. I'm a little more lenient with it because they're not going to move like that much in just a few hours. But so that was my journey. So honestly, it is unfortunate that the company I used ceased to exist before I was even done with my treatment. If I had ordered them like 2 weeks earlier, then I would have made it in time to get the retainers, but it's okay. Because imagine I paid for the retainers and then they went out of business and then I lost my money, you know what I mean? So, whatever. So, it could have been worse. I'm happy with my teeth. I like the way they look. I will say I'm gonna pop my bottom one out just so I can show you one thing. I don't want to do that on camera, so hold on. I will say on the bottom, this tooth, which was the most crooked one, is still a little slanted, but barely. Like that's pretty straight, yeah. So I'm gonna cover my mouth. It's kind of gross to do on camera. But you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm happy with it. My one concern now is just making sure that my teeth stay and never move and have that be it. So that's kind of where we are right now. So it worked out for me. Of course, I will say, like, just contact a professional. Don't take any like shortcuts, really, even though I know I did, but this is not me telling you to follow in my footsteps. But that was my journey. Camera, focus on me better, please. Okay, but that was my journey. And you know what, I will be honest, I don't regret it. My teeth are still healthy, they didn't turn colors or anything like that. And I'm really happy with the way it looks. It's a big confidence booster for sure. For me, because my teeth were, I was pretty self-conscious about it. So I feel better having my teeth like this. My mom's really happy about it because, you know, she and my dad paid for my braces when I was a kid. And the top row stayed perfectly fine. It was the bottom that was the problem. My top teeth barely moved during this whole process. It was the bottom teeth, so she was happy that I corrected that. But that's my teeth journey, guys. There's not much else to say. And you know, it all works out. That's all I can say. it sounds different. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.